friends, it's Deanna here, and today we're making the hipster dress, which is a really cute hip dress, and it's got different options. It's got the cowl option and it's got the hood option. Today I'm working, and it's got the midi length and it's got the knee length. I'm doing the knee length with the cowl option. But the steps will be the same for the hood option, except for the hood will just be attached like a hood. So if you want to see the directions for the hood, we have other videos on the hoodies, and it will be the same, basically the same way when you attach it and when you sew the hood together. But I'm just doing the cowl today. So yeah. But before I get started, let me remind you about our fun fan giveaway, where we give $50 Ellie and Mac gift certificate once a month to a lucky subscriber. So all you have to do is pause the video and subscribe if you haven't, and comment below and let us know anything you want to let us know. How much you love our videos, what your favorite pattern is, what your favorite SVG file is over on our website. If you haven't checked those out, go check them out. Just let us know anything that you love about Ellie and Mac, and you will be entered on our giveaway. So we're gonna go ahead and get started now. I already cut out my pattern, this is the hipster dress. Once again, I cut everything out, and we're gonna get started. I am only making one set of pockets on the one side. I'm not making two pockets. I wanted to show you how to do the pockets. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab one of our pieces, our front and our back. We're gonna do it to both. We're gonna do it to our front and our back. We're gonna grab our pattern piece. We're gonna put it up to the piece and find where our pattern shows us where the pockets are. And this is, every once in a while with certain patterns, I know I have people ask me sometimes, how do you store your patterns? What do you do with your patterns? So every once in a while, depending on the pattern, I will print a few different sizes. Like with this one, I printed a couple of different sizes, and then I will trace it. And usually, so I'm doing it to one, and then I'm gonna do it to the other one, and you gotta make sure you do it on the correct side. So if you're doing a pocket, sorry, I'll finish the other thing in a minute. If you're doing a pocket on the whatever side you're doing it, you're mirroring that pocket on the other side. So if you put them right sides together, you see I marked this side of this pattern piece. You're gonna have to mark this side on your other pattern piece. You see, you don't wanna, if I mark the front on this side and the back on this side, you'll have one half of a pocket at a different side. You don't want that. So if you don't remember how to do it, just put them right sides together, and then that's where you have to do it. And the same side, if you put them right sides together, the same side, okay? So this is gonna be the side where I'm gonna put my other pocket. And if you're doing two pockets, then you're gonna put them on all the sides, so it won't matter. Okay, so as I was telling you, I will print out all the sizes, and now this is my, and then I'll grab my tracing paper, and this is not tracing paper, this is paper I already had. It's just white paper, but I will usually grab tracing paper. Sometimes I use the Swedish tracing paper or stuff like that, and then I'll trace my pattern and one of my sizes over to the paper, and then that way I don't have to print twice. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna attach my pocket. My pocket is gonna be facing down because this is the top of my dress up here. This is gonna be facing down. So as you can see, it goes down this way, okay? So I'm just starting at the top line. So whichever line you start, you're gonna have to do it the same with the two pockets, okay? So there's the one, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna grab my pocket, and I'm gonna place it face down, right sides together on top of my dress where I marked. Okay, so this is the top of my dress. My pocket's going down as if you were gonna put your hand in there. So now I'm gonna sew that. I'm using my serger, but if you don't have a serger, you can also use a stretch stitch on your sewing machine, any kind of stretch stitch. I always advise you that if you're going to use a stretch stitch on your sewing machine, what you can do is grab a piece of the material that you're using for your dress, any scrap piece, and go to your sewing machine and use the different kind of stretch stitches that you have and see which one gives you the best stretch. For this dress, I am using a French terry. So French terry has great stretch sometimes. Some French terry seems to have a lot more stretch than others. This one has good stretch. So it just, fabrics vary. Even if it's the same fabric, you can say you're making it, sewing it with the same fabric, and one can vary from different carriers, different batches, you know, even from the same carrier. So you always have to be kind of checking to see if you are doing a stretch stitch on your sewing machine, which one is the best one. All right, so now we're gonna do our shoulders, where we're gonna put our front and our back together. So here's my front face up, and I'm gonna grab my back and I'm gonna put it face down right on top of it. Add the shoulders, and we're going to sew those shoulder seams together. So I'm just placing my shoulders right sides together right on top of each other. And now I'm gonna sew those shoulder seams right here at the top. This is really soft. I love French terry. I just do. I love how soft it is. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. And honestly, I don't even feel like French terry is that warm. I mean, there's different kind of French terry, and I'm assuming some is warmer than others because I have had some that is a little bit thicker, but usually French terry is thinner and soft, and I just like it. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and do our sleeves. So I'm gonna open up my dress, put it face out. Here's my arm side right here. I'm gonna grab my sleeve, and the first thing we're gonna do to our sleeve is we're gonna fold it, and I'm gonna find that top seam, that tippy top middle part thingy right here at the top. So I folded it in half, and here's my top, and I'm gonna mark it. I like to do a little snip, not big enough to cause any mayhem when you're sewing it on. You can barely see it, but I can see it where it's at. But if you just want to pin it or clip it, that's fine too. I just love clipping. I don't know why. That's just what I've been used to. And now we're gonna go meeting our right sides together, the raw edge of your shoulder sleeve and the arm side, sorry. You're going to meet that raw edge together. So because it's rounded, you kind of have to work around it, work around it. And so you kind of twisting it around like so, and going all the way down to the edge. I only put like 3 pins in there because when I start at the top, I just grab the first piece and pull it like so to the second pin, go, and then from this pin to the middle pin, I pull it like so and go. So I just kind of, I don't like to have a million pins I need to get rid of later. I guess I'm just, I don't know, lazy sewing. Probably if I did more pins and everything, maybe my things would turn out like really, really great. I don't know. I'm lazy. I love sewing, but I'm always like looking for shortcuts and how to do my sewing quicker without it being bad. No, I don't half do it. I just quick do it. But no, I am very careful with certain things, especially if I'm sewing for somebody else. Like if I am a nervous wreck. People all the time say, "Oh, Deanna, can you make me something? Can you sew me this? I'll pay you," or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm a nervous wreck when it comes to sewing for somebody else. Especially, I have a lot of friends who will ask me to alter their wedding dress or bridesmaids dresses or prom dresses or whatever, and I'm like, oh, you know, like I'm always so scared I'm gonna ruin their perfect, beautiful dress, you know. So I'm like, it's almost more stressful to alter than it is to sew. Let me know if that's the same for you. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sew this on, and like I said, you're just sewing the raw edge together, the sleeve to the arm side. Tell me how you feel about altering. Is that more stressful to you? I honestly only do it for my closest friends. I'm always so scared about it. It's not even worth the money for me. And I am on one of those that, like, I have a hard time charging people when I sew, because I'm always like, it's so expensive. So I just sew for the love of sewing, and then I give a lot of my pieces away to friends and family, and you know, my closet is pretty full, but every time my mom comes in town, like she came in town this weekend, and she said, so what am I getting today? Mom! So she's got a South Shore. She got a South Shore romper. And it's good. I love it. I love being able to do that. And yesterday my son was writing a little, he's at the age where he loves to write like little, like stories, but not really stories. I don't know, just like short stories. And he was writing one last night, and so he was going on about mommy and daddy and this and that, and he said, mommy likes to sew, and she's very good at it. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I love it. He's so sweet. He's a really good boy. Okay, so now that we attach the sleeve, we're going to go ahead and sew the sides. Now, one side, the side that's got the pockets, or if you're doing both sides with pockets, is going to look like so. You're going to meet at the seam, at the armpit seam is where I like to meet first, just to make sure that it's all even. Then we're going to go down, and next we're going to meet the pockets. So we're going to open up those pockets. We're meeting this right sides together, by the way. We're meeting the pockets right sides together. And so those raw edges right here at the sides. And we're going down and around all the way around the pocket. So we're going around the pocket, and then we're going all the way down to the bottom. And what we're going to do here is we're going to grab our pattern piece. I hope I marked it on this one. I did. And we're going to check where, that's the armpit, where our vent is. So my vent is right here, because I don't want to sew all the way down. I want to leave my vent open. Okay, so make sure you mark your vent where you're going to stop sewing. You're not going to go all the way down. You're going to go just up to that vent. Okay, and again on this side, you're going down the sleeve to the edge of the sleeve. Okay, and then the side that doesn't have pockets, it's going to be just straight. You're just going straight down. And the reason why I did only one pocket on this is because this is a straight dress. And honestly, quite honestly, when I'm wearing a straight dress like this, I don't use my pockets. But I wanted to show you how to do a pocket because, you know, pockets, I love pockets. But if I'm wearing a straight dress like this, I don't use a pocket because I always feel like, especially depending on the fabric, like if it's a sturdier fabric, then maybe I will, but if it's a thin fabric, like doesn't have much of recovery, I want to be careful, because then I feel like my dress is gonna look saggy. Like if I put something heavy on my pocket, it's gonna be like, you know, like pulling me down, and I'm like, I don't want to look like that. So I'm always like, no, I'm not gonna put a pocket. So I'm matching my vent again here on this side, marking it to make sure, see how far down I'm gonna go. This is what I do. My husband always gets onto me. This rim, I have to clean it so often, because like when I'm sewing, I don't know how it is for you, and I'm like rabbit trails right now because I don't even remember what I was just talking about to you all. Okay, we're gonna sew that side, and so I just like randomly throw things all over the place. And so if we're sewing the pocket, we're just going straight down. I know I'm not making any sense. Sew the pocket, no pocket, you go straight down. Make sure you're sewing both layers. All the way down to my vent. Now, if you're making the longer the midi length, then obviously your vent will be longer. My vent is not very long because I'm not doing the midi length. But then I'm going to add the band at the bottom, so it will be longer than that. It looks very short, but it's not. It's just I still have to add my, my band at the bottom. So now I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. Sewing those sides together, but if you have a pocket, you're gonna go around the pocket. All right, as I get to my pocket, what I do is I pull straight down on my pocket so it makes it like a smooth line. So like my pocket goes like this, I pull it straight. So like I go straight, kind of flush it, and then it and then go around. And I do the same thing when I'm closing the pocket. I found that if I don't do that, if I don't pull it straight, I sometimes end up, if I try to just go around it, I end up with a hole at the bottom of my pocket. No one wants a hole at the bottom of their pocket. So I found it easier to just move it like that. I'm going to show you again right here when I bring it over to you. Okay, so when I'm going up or down, wherever way I'm going, when I get to that pocket right there, instead of going up and around, I pull it straight up and I sew and I go shh, and then I turn my pocket around, and then when I get at the top, I pull it tight and I go straight, okay? Because if I try to go up, turn my serger around, I used to end up with like a hole in my pocket, and I not like that. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, so here's my dress. How cute. All right, so if you're doing cuffs, you would do your arm cuffs right now, but I am not doing cuffs on my arm. And I apologize for that. I usually like to do the harder steps, but I didn't think about cuffs because I'm doing short sleeve. Then if you're doing cuffs and you don't remember how to do them, if you need some help, we have a video on our YouTube page on this channel that is called Bands, I think it's called, and it shows you how to put the cuffs on and everything. So if you need extra help with that, please go join our video, go watch our video. But as of right now, I'm hemming, so I'm just doing 1/2 inch in towards the inside, steaming, and then I'm gonna hem that. I'm gonna hem the sleeves. We're gonna go ahead and do our cowl now. And I'm using this pink because I ran out of this gray fabric, but I love the look of like wearing a scarf over your dress, this kind of look. And this dress has got some pink in it. So I'm pulling out the pinks of the fabric, of this fabric. So I'm going to grab my cowl. I'm going to open it up. Now we've got two, and they have like this shape. What is this shape called? Please comment below and let me know. Because I made a video the other day, and I kept getting my shapes all messed up. Like seriously, that's elementary. And I teach Spanish, and I teach my shapes to the kids. So every year I teach shapes, and I'm like, how do I get my shapes all messed up? Okay, so what we're doing is we're gonna sew the sides of the cowls together. So right sides together, and we're sewing the short side. No, I'm lying to you. We're sewing the sides. That's the neck. We're sewing the long sides. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. We're gonna put them right sides together. We're gonna meet our raw edges, and we're gonna sew those long sides together. This side right here, that's gonna be your neck. So I don't know why I was telling you to sew that. We're sewing these sides like that come into like a shape of a house, you know, like I can't think of the name. My word. They want my tomato. He gave up on me. You know, when you were a child and you used to draw houses and you always did, I don't know why. Anyway, I'm gonna sew those edges together of the cowl liner and the cowl outer. And if you want to, you can go straight like I just did, or you can turn. It really doesn't matter. Because that's going to be kind of folded in when you put it on. You'll see. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Like, pretty neat. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, so now that I've sewn both of those together, as you can see it, I'm going to fold it, right sides touching, wrong sides touching, like so. And I am going to grab right here where the raw edges, they're going to meet. And that's going to go onto your neck. So I'm grabbing my top. And you know what? I'm going to turn it inside out because I'm going to fit my cowl in. I just like to do that. All right, let's go ahead and quarter my dress. I'm going to do the shoulder seams, meet the two shoulder seams, go to the back, meet the shoulder seams, go to the front. I'm doing that notch thing. Meet the front and the back together, go to the one side. Don't let the shoulder seams be your halves, your quarters, because they're not even. Okay, I lost my quarter, my little half point because I went the wrong side. Okay, there it is, right there. I'm meeting them together. Here's my shoulder. Now I'm meeting them to the other side. Here's my other shoulder. It's about an inch away from the seam. So if you go by that, you're gonna be lost. I don't know why I turned my dress inside out. I don't know what's going on. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my seams and I'm gonna face them right sides together where the seams are, because the seam is gonna be your half. So you wanna go to the front and then to the back. And I'm going to pin. Come on. Only reason why I'm pinning this is because I'm using these pins again to pin it onto the actual dress. So now I'm going to actually pin it to the dress. So I'm pinning these side seams to the sides, to my quarters. Here's my 1/4. And then the mark that we made for the back will be right in the back. And the other side will be on the other side. What I mean by that is where the side seams are of the cowl, that's where I'm doing the sides, those sides quarters, and then the front. And it's pinned right sides together at the neck. Now I am going to sew those on, and I'll start in the back. If you can remember which one's the back and which one's the front. I like to start at the back because then I don't have a seam in the front. But with a cowl, you might not be able to see it very much. And I'm putting the raw edge together. I sew a little bit. I go to the first half point. Gotta stretch the cowl just a little bit to match that neckline. Make sure you're sewing all 3 layers, and make sure you got everything else out of the way. The rest of the dress, pull it out of the way so you don't catch anything and end up sewing it all funky. That's happened before to me. Happens to me quite a bit actually, as I get to talking to you all and I forget that I'm actually sewing something, and then I end up doing it wrong. Make sure you bring your dress up, make sure you're catching everything. I feel like I missed a little spot over there. Might have to go back to. I just clipped a little, not clipped, but I missed a little piece. So I'm just going to go right back over it. Sometimes, if it's just a little piece, and I don't want to deal with my serger and tucking in all these tails, then I will just do my zigzag stitch on my sewing machine. And we're almost done. Look at this. How cute is this? My cowl on my dress. Ooh, that's gonna be so cute. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our bottom piece. Whoops. And so we're gonna grab our piece that we're gonna add to the bottom. We're gonna fold it wrong sides together. And I thought about doing the pink as well on this, but then I'm like, I don't know. I like the pink just being in the top, on the top, because I feel like it's just the like an accent piece. So, and if I feel like if I do it to the bottom as well, it's gonna be like too matchy-matchy, and I don't like that. So I'm just going with the same color. I could have gone with another gray, but I didn't. I didn't have any. I thought about doing just a gray, but I didn't have gray. So I'm just doing the same color. So what you're doing is you're matching the raw side of the one that you just folded in half, wrong sides together. So you're gonna match right sides together of the fold at the raw edge of the bottom of the dress. Okay, so the raw edge. I have the other one as well. Folding it wrong sides together. If you can see that seam right there in the middle, I didn't have enough fabric. Shame. I was running out of fabric, so I had to put 2 together. I added the seam allowance. I attached 2 together because I was running out of fabric. But I really like this fabric. I thought it was so pretty, and I'm like, I just want to make this dress. It's so pretty, but I didn't have it. So, do you buy certain fabrics for certain projects? Like, do you get fabric and you think, oh, this is what I'm going to use this for? Or do you just hoard fabric and then all of a sudden you see a project and you're like, this is perfect? I do both. There are some fabrics that I look online and I see it and I'm like, okay, I gotta have this. This would make the perfect fill in the blank. But there are some fabrics that I'm like, I don't know what this will make, but I love it, so I'm buying it. And so this was one of those. I really liked it and I bought it, and now I'm glad I did. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sew those raw edges together. Make sure you're getting all 3 of them. As I say that, I'm not making sure I'm getting all three of them. I hope I did. Make sure you're keeping everything else out of the way. You don't want to get to the last little bit. Oh, there were my scissors. You don't want to get to the last little bit and then clip your dress. Grabbing these guys. That would be very, very sad. Very sad. We're almost done with this dress. I'm going to do the other one. I wanted to do this whole dress together because I wanted to show you how easy it really is. So now that it's sewn on, we're going to open it up. We're going to steam it. And then if you want, you can go ahead and top stitch that. Top stitch it. It's up to you. Make sure you give it a good steam. Every time that I'm giving it a steam, I always make sure the seam is going the same way. So the whole thing, you want the whole seam to go the same way. You don't want part of it. See how sometimes it wiggles and part of it is up and part of it is down? You don't want that. You want it all to go the same way. So if it's all going up, it's all going up. That will help. I've noticed, and I don't know, maybe some people have different opinions on that, but I've noticed that when I do it like that, when the whole thing faces the right way, it doesn't look wobbly. It looks wobbly when one part faces up and one part faces down, then it looks wobbly. And I don't like that wobbly look. Okay, now all we have to do is close our vent. And literally all we're doing with the vent is hemming it. We're going to turn it in. We're going to steam it. And we're going to hem it. And that is it. So I'm just steaming my hem allowance right here. And then I'm going to go to my cover stitch and hem it. I have a cover stitch. If you don't have a cover stitch, a stretch stitch on your sewing machine, or double needle, if you have a double needle, will be will work well. So either one will work just fine for hemming all the way around the vent. And I always find that when I'm hemming around a curve, what I do is when I get to that curve, I kind of stretch the fabric out just a tiny bit so that it will fold over nicely. And that's it. I'm just gonna go ahead and hem my sleeves, hem my vent, and I am done with my dress. Here's my pocket. I gotta tuck that in and steam it. There we go. Dress is done. I will take a picture of the dress so you can see it. Isn't it so cute? Please let me know if you have any questions on anything I did. Any questions whatsoever, please let me know. Let me know. Subscribe if you haven't. If you don't have, if you haven't subscribed, or if you haven't joined our Facebook or Instagram page, come join us. We'd love to see what you're making. Come show us what you're making. Come see what everybody else is making. Come be inspired by all the wonderful people out there sewing. Also, please comment, like, share with others. And that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.